Hello, Mr. Bishop.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. Welcome to my BH Live series. So, I'm going to do a quick introduction for you, and then we're going to get straight into the questions because Instagram literally only gives us an hour and it goes very, very quickly. So, first
Okay.
off, BH Live is a platform that's designed to help the creatives industry and bring on incredible creatives like yourself to give advice, talk about the industry, and just put everything to right. You are now sideways, by the way.
Oh, right. Okay.
So this is episode 8, and I'm very excited to be interviewing Stuart Bishop, who actually used to be my agent and gave me my first big break in the industry, and is a pretty awesome guy, and now become a very good friend. Stuart has been at the forefront of dance industry since the turn of the century, working internationally as a choreographer, an agent, and a TV judge. Over the years, Stuart has cast, choreographed, and coached for many renowned artists and brands. As a performing arts expert, Stuart is also the founder of the higher level industry, the network membership, helping performers become the greatest version of themselves while raising awareness on vital dance industry issues. He is often a guest speaker at colleges, as well as hosting his own seminar and events. Stuart is also celebrating his 21st year teaching at Pineapple Dance Studios. And for more information, you need to check out the Love Rudo website and the higherlevelindustry.com website. Did I get all that right?
Awesome. Badass.
Banging! Cool. So, just so everyone can get to know you, the first question I'm asking everybody on this now is tell us your life story in 4 minutes. Go.
Well, I would say if you were to ask that question to do it in 10 seconds, I would say high low, high low, high low, high low. And as these high lows happen, I'm on a gradual increase the whole
Yeah.
time. Um, I started training as an actor originally.
Mm.
Fell into dance because I noticed that the dance course had lots of beautiful women on, and so I thought, right, okay, that's what I want to do. And I was also a big fan of Michael Jackson. So dance suddenly overtook wanting to be an actor.
Mm.
And from there, I trained at Bodywork Dance Studios, and I did 3 years there, learning jazz, ballet, contemporary, all the styles that you do.
Yeah.
I then came out and learned all the funk styles: locking, popping, robotics, ticking, tutting, strutting, waving, whatever, at places like Pineapple
Mm.
and and sort of other with other sort of teachers and workshops and master classes. Became a professional dancer. Very quickly saw that as a professional dancer, even when you get to the top, it's quite limited.
Yeah.
So within a year, I told everyone that not only was I becoming a choreographer, but I was also going to become an agent, which at the age of 21, everyone said I was pretty crazy. And for about 6 months, perhaps they were right, and then it all started to go to plan.
Yeah.
So started up my agency, originally called Rudai, at the turn of the century. And for about 15 years, everything just went literally like that. Choreographed for many famous artists, choreographed for many great brands. I had the dream of becoming a TV judge, and after about sort of 9 or 10 years of running the agency, I got to that point where I then went away for 2 years to Latin America, and I was a judge on shows in Mexico and in Peru. Lived the life of a celebrity for 2 years. Everything then went pear-shaped. Split up with my original partner that we ran Rudai with. Everything went a bit mental. I lost myself. I lost everything. And then I spent the next sort of 3 or 4 years just stabilizing, getting better, and starting to really find personal development and find myself. And then from there, I've started to make my way to what I call the greatest comeback ever.
Yes.
And really, that's all about just sort of getting myself back to the sort of the heights that I was, but this time for the right reasons, and being a much better person than I used to be. That's what it's about. It's about a massive journey, It's
Yeah, yeah,
about
definitely.
becoming the greatest version of myself and
Mm.
being the best person I can. So
Yeah. Sick. So that's your life. And I met you. When did I meet you? How many years
Um,
ago was that now?
cool. 5 years ago, maybe.
Yeah. No, it's
And funnily
longer.
enough, it
7.
was at a point when I had just, yeah, possibly longer,
Yeah.
when I was at my bottom, and had time to answer
Heroes.
random emails.
Well, let me tell that story just to give an idea of you and your character. Is I was dancing up until about the age of 30, and I injured myself on a show. I buggered my shoulder, and then went on this kind of life coaching journey, a bit like you did, and went on this development journey, and just realized that I missed dancing and loved it, but I didn't want to dance anymore. I wanted to come back as a choreographer. So the fact that I just done this life coaching course, I was being unstoppable, and so I emailed about 100 plus agents and companies to be like, I want to be a choreographer. Can someone help me out? Stuart Bishop was the only one that replied. And I still remember it to this day because I said, hey, let's grab a coffee. And you replied saying, well, I don't drink coffee, but let's grab a beer. And then
Yeah,
we met in Swiss Cottage and we ate and we drank and got a little bit drunk. But I went away with 3 pages worth of notes of what you wanted me to do. And
yeah.
then I think I whipped it out in a week, didn't I?
I thought I won't. Right, I'll see him in about a year or so, and within 2 or 3 weeks, you were on my case saying I've done all those things, and I was just like, what the hell? And and that's what it's all about, really. It's about learning from others and then implementing those things that you learn, and that's what impressed me about you. And it was just like, well, I hadn't, obviously I'd seen better choreographers and I'd seen better people, but it was the motivation, it was the determination,
Yeah.
which you forced yourself
Yeah.
to be represented.
I've never claimed to be the best, but I can promise you I'll outwork as whoever I need to.
Well, this is it. Who can claim to be the best?
Yeah, exactly. There's always somebody.
The ones that are claiming are, the ones that are probably delusional. I've got to say, I look a little bit red because I've literally just come back from a 15K run.
Oh, yes, you're so into your running right now, and how are you finding that therapeutically?
I love it. I love, that's how I think. That's how I come up with ideas. Normally on Sunday, I do a big run. So I'll go to like
and
or something like that. So I've had to condense it today. Yeah, that's about. I normally do about 20 miles.
Oh wow! I don't think I could do a mile without dying. I've never been a good runner, so hats off to you. I don't think I could do it.
I only started a year ago. I mean, I used to run when I was a kid, but I've only just got back into it a year ago. Yeah. A year ago, I had something sort of happened, which meant that I had the choice of either sinking or swimming.
Yeah.
And I decided, right, instead of sinking, I'm going to swim. I'm going to make sure that I, get on it. And I gave up smoking. Gave up anything that was distracting me. And just had to get back on it, and I got back into reading as well. I read.
Yeah.
At the moment, I always got about 6 or 7 books that I read every single day.
Wow.
And well, a good quote that my platform put out the other day was it was something like, the more that you learn, gives you the ability to earn more, or something like that.
And give us your top 3 books to read. So if anyone out there who hasn't really got into personal development yet and wants to kind of get into it, what's the top 3 books you would tell them to read?
Right, I'll tell you. I can tell you right now. I would say The Slight Edge, brilliant.
Perfect.
I would say, let me have a think. I mean, there's so many books. The Celestine Prophecy is a great spiritual book.
Okay.
And also, I mean, if people want to go absolute basic for personal development, then something like The Secret is a brilliant.
It's a great way to start. I think we all started with that.
Often you get people who are further along the line slag The Secret off. But they miss the point of it. They miss the point. It's about just pushing people to that direction of thinking.
Yes. There's I can't actually remember the name of the book, and it's going to kill me now because I'm live. But there's a book that's kind of similar to The Secret, but comes from a more scientific point of view. It talks about the vibrations, that actually your mood vibrates your body in a certain way, and vibrations are naturally attracted to each other. So that if you're a happy person, you tend to attract happy people, and misery tends to attract misery, and so on and so on and so on.
Absolutely. And I'll show you, just to give you a varied kind of thing. These are the books that I'm reading right now.
Go.
I'm reading Blacklisted. This is to do with Black Lives Matter and black issues. Salman Rushdie's Midnight Children.
Brilliant.
The Truth by Neil Strauss. He was the guy who wrote The Game.
Perfect.
Catch-22. It's a classic novel.
Amazing.
The Elements of Eloquence, which is all about writing and grammar and stuff like that. And I just got in the post Satanic Verses by Salman Rushdie as well.
Amazing.
So I'm trying to get a varied kind of education, you know, things
good.
Like, because we need it in the performing arts. You know, you can't be standing there talking about Love Island or Instagram filters to a big time director. Do you know what I mean? Because they're just gonna be like, what
is this going on?
You know, if you want to create relationships with people higher up than you've got to have conversation. You've got to be able to talk about other things. So but going back to the running, that's why I look a little bit red. I'm a little bit
it's all right. When I post a video onto the YouTube channel, I'll take the red out for you. I'll grade it a little bit for you. Right, let's get to the questions, because I genuinely feel like we could just talk for hours and forget the questions. So we've got a list of things to talk about. You've been in the industry for a long time now. How did it used to be, and what would you say are the biggest changes you've seen over the years?
I would say the biggest changes are that, well, I would say at the start of the millennium, when the internet came, it created a vacuum of sort of people who joined the industry seeing it through the lens of the reality TV shows.
Yeah.
So a lot of people came and didn't understand that there's certain disciplines, certain professionalism, you know, training involved, and also that you could you were meant to be paid properly. So because of this, fees went down, disciplines went down, and then, you know, you look at things like social media, that gives the ability for people to feel like they can have more control over their careers, which is great. The problem is, it's very much on a low level if you are trying to put yourself out on social media. And, you know, when you get all these sort of jobs that go on social media, people think, great, brilliant, I can do it, and I don't have to, you know, I don't
have to pay my commission.
To pay commission. But it's just so low level it is.
And,
you know, I always say about Beyonce, not, you know, she's not answering her phone, taking her jobs and that. And we have to think on the same level as of being a superstar. Otherwise, you're thinking a level of a cast member, you know, or just a lowly kind of extra, or just in the background. If we're not in it to become the great, you know, the best, and we're just in it to sort of just be one of the ones propping up, one of the pawns, what's the point? You know? You deserve to be taken advantage of.
Well, this is the thing. This is what I say to everybody as well. Is if they're posting it away from an agency, one, it's probably underpaid. Two, they're probably doing something that they shouldn't be doing, even if it's just looking after the dancers properly. Because I know from working with you guys a lot is the agency look after the dancer and they make sure everything's in place, so there's nothing to worry about when they go on the job. So the chances are they've already gone to agencies and then gone, oh wait, we can't afford that, and then tried to do it themselves. So,
well, you know what? We're not only looking after the dancer as agents, we're looking after the client as well. And it's much easier for the client to come to one person who can then sort it all out for them than having to rip around different, you know, all the different dancers and things like that. And as a performer, you want people to know you for your creative ideas, not for your want for more money and for your, you know, we all want more money.
Of course.
We all want better conditions and better hotel rooms and first class and all that. But it's, as a performer, you don't need to be the person saying all that.
No.
Let your agent be the bad guy if you need. So that's, I think, the biggest change. You know, it's exposed social media, the internet, reality TV shows has exposed the industry and exposed performance. So we are more and more out in the open, so
Yeah.
clients, companies, entertainment companies can see that the majority of the performing arts don't really have a clue what's going on.
Yeah.
And this is why they can pay less, because they're seeing desperate people.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's only going to get worse. That's the problem right now.
When you show your hands, it's like playing a poker game and just having your cards showing. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
And so you can't blame people. People just want to get the best deal as possible. They want to pay as little as possible.
Like really. Any business would. And that's the thing. That's what people forget, is these guys are still businesses. They want to undercut, so they will.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that there you go. And it's about knowing. I think. Let's go on to the next question.
Yeah, because I feel like you're going to answer the next one.
We're going to lead to an eventual
a gradual
explanation.
Yes, exactly.
Of how the structure of the industry works.
Exactly.
What is the next question?
The next question is basically, you have a CV that most people would die for, including myself. What was your favorite job? And you can name that one. And what was your least favorite job? And I would say don't name that one.
Well,
why?
I'm happy to. I'm happy to name anything.
Name and shame.
To be honest. I'm at a point in my life where I don't really care. I'd say my best jobs were obviously when I was working as a TV judge. That was amazing. And when I got to work with sort of some famous people as a choreographer and stuff like that, those kind of things are always really good.
Yeah.
I remember commentating for the Red Bull BC1 World Championship final in Russia.
This is a good story.
I got no idea. You know what I mean? But it was because I'd just been on TV.
Yeah.
And, I was able to blag that I'd done TV commentary, and when I look back, I was so out of my depth, but I was able to. I put on an American accent for some reason. But there's me in Moscow, the final, in the biggest event of the year for breakdance, for Red Bull. It was Red Bull TV that I did the commentary for. Things like that. There's been a lot of big jobs where I've done things where I've just gone, oh my God, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I remember once when I was in Peru being the headline act for a whole Adidas street party that they created. Just because I was the main man at that point in Lima and on TV there. So lots of good jobs. Without doubt, the worst job I've ever done. There's two which actually there's stick to mind. One, as a choreographer for Nintendo. I basically didn't need to be there. Tried as much as possible to make myself look needed, and at lunchtime basically sacked. I was basically asked to they said that I can just go, which I was being politely told that I didn't need.
You weren't needed. Yeah.
There's nothing worse as a choreographer when you get there in the morning and you realise, they could have done without one.
Yeah,
to be honest.
They didn't need us.
And you just have to make yourself sort of look like you needed. I'm sure you've been on a few of those.
Without trying to annoy the director at the same time and get in their way and overtake their job. So it's like constant push and pull.
And the dancers also, the people on set also can see that, he's not really needed either. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
embarrassing.
You just feel like absolute shit. I remember walking home in, okay, I've been paid for it already, so that's a positive. But it was just like, and then I remember as a dancer once, I was opposite this. It was one of my first ever jobs. I was opposite this big black muscular choreographer who was also the other dancer behind this drag act.
Yeah.
He had this amazing body, and I was just a really skinny white boy. We were dancing to Michael Jackson's I think it was Dangerous, and we were wearing these kind of jungle. It was like leopard skin,
nice
kind of outfit.
It's a good look.
And I just remember thinking, is this what my career has in, in store for me? But it was still at college, so I was lucky. I was actually
You were lucky to get the job, yeah.
So that was my worst ones. I've been very lucky because I've had control of my career, the whole of my career, apart from the first sort of year of me, being a dancer. So I've been able to pick and choose the work that I've done. And if I didn't want to do it, I simply wouldn't do it,
Yeah. Amazing. Right. I love this next question because I now hope everyone's going to go and YouTube your name. If you search your name on YouTube, there are some great videos, but the one that's really stuck out for me is a phone video that's clearly you hanging out the hotel balcony and you have fans screaming your name in Latin America. You were literally famous. Tell us what it was. Sorry, but let me start again. Tell us what this was and what your experience was as being a famous choreographer and a judge.
Well, there are many. If people did a real search, there are many very videos on there. Yeah, it was amazing. Funnily enough, I stayed in a lot of hotels. I had to be moved a few times because fans would find out where I was staying. And the first time I got moved, it was because I'd let fans know, this is where I was staying, kind of thing. I thought it'd be cool, funny, but the hotel absolutely hated it, and I was asked to leave. The people looking after me was told, can he leave? But it was, it was weird because I was completely, massively famous in these Latin American countries. And and completely not when I came home, and because of the buzz of the confidence you get from being famous, when I did come home, I would often get people go, "Oh, you remind me of someone, are you on TV or something like that?" Because I had that sort of aura.
Yeah.
But the actual fame thing, I mean, I learned that it's very superficial. A lot of people wanted to be my best friend. A lot of people wanted to know me. A lot of people wanted to give me a lot of free stuff. I could go to places and people would have bags of stuff to give me just for walking into the, looking at in their shop window.
Yeah.
And you'd sit there in a restaurant and people would be looking at you and wanting your autograph, and it was awesome, except for after a while not only was I in sort of a foreign country where I couldn't speak the language and understand fully, I also had a lot of personal stuff going on which should have ended really before I got famous, and the fact just made it sort of put it on hold. So by the end, when I was ready to come home, that's when everything went to shit. So I literally went from being on sort of top TV shows. I had a pilot, just created a pilot of a TV format that looked like it was going to be taken up by the massive networks. When I came back, all I had to do was actually fly back and present it with this big production company to do it. And when I came back, everything went pear-shaped and I never went back. So it was, it was a time of greatness, but also a lot of fakeness. Not only people around me, but myself. It's very easy to lose yourself. Yeah. So, and this is how you see people on reality shows. They go like that and they fall back down, and it's because they haven't built a platform of personal development. And now I know I would be able to handle any type of sort of platform or any type of fame or anything, because I'm not chasing the same things,
Yeah, exactly. Amazing. Good answer. So tell us a little bit more about your agency, Love Rudai. I'd love to hear what you stand for, what your mission is, and what your aim is as an agency.
Well, originally we started to improve the standards of the commercial dance industry. We started just as everything went to shit. And everything went to shit. Everyone was saying, you know, it's all changed, all the money's gone down, and the industry's destroyed. And me and my ex-partner Charlotte, we had just come out of college. We were fresh, and we had no negativity in our heads, and we decided to do something about it. We've always it's always been about paying dancers correctly, paying dancers on time, making sure that they're looked after, making sure that they're not what's the word, when mollycoddled, you know, trying to always educate them. And it's meant that we haven't always been the favorite agency of people all the time. You know, there's some big dancers that we don't represent because they're assholes. And you know, we want an easy life, you know.
Yeah, true.
I want the dancer to enjoy being represented by us. And you know, we're always encouraging our dancers. Look, you know, we want to represent you for about 3 or 4 years, probably. You know, anything longer than that, it's a question of, look, come on, what's your next steps? Because once they get too comfortable within the industry, that's when dancers start to think that they're worth more. Now, they are worth more. This is the thing. But they're not worth more within an industry which can only go to a certain level. In the end of the day, you're dancing behind someone. You are a person who are promoting the star, or promoting the star, which is the product. You know, we're merely pawns. We're merely propping up. And if you understand that, that's fine. But if you don't understand that, you can then get very diva-ish and think that you've got to be paid much more, and treated much better. You know, yes, I'm all for making sure people are treated fairly and paid correctly. But if you want to be paid like a star, then you've got to become a star. Do you know what I mean? If you want to become, and act like one, absolutely. So, you know, as an agency, we're strict. At the same time, we want to make sure that people are happy, and you know, and we're just not, we're not a wannabe agency. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to kiss ass to famous people just to get a job. You know, I've lost jobs in the past because I've told people where to fucking go. Do you know what I mean? You know, and famous people before. You know, I've been asked to choreograph for famous artists before, and then it's just like, well, hang on. You don't mind paying me, but you don't want to pay the dancers proper. You know, choreographer, it's the amount of choreographers I see who don't care really about the dance.
As long as they get paid, they're happy.
They wouldn't job. So you know, it's interesting times. But yeah, you know, as an agency, we're looking for people who want to go further, and we like to represent people when they're at this point where they want to give their all to the dance part. You know, once they don't want to give their all to the dance part and they want to become choreographers, or they want to become directors or writers, then, you know, we can have that conversation. Can we represent you as a choreographer? Or if not, hey, good luck, man, go for it.
Enjoy. Here's the world. Well, let's talk about the network, because this has been a big thing for you for the last now 5 years. I'm a network member, and I've been watching you make incredible strides in the quest of trying to improve this ever-changing industry. Tell us what you have done so far and what's next with the network.
Okay, so for those who don't know what the network is, it's a very small platform, really, because I've very slowly, organically grew it. We've got about 620 members, and it's, you know, I've been quite picky about bringing people on. I'm not bothered about it going to 10,000, 100,000 members, or have been. It's been a platform for me to, well, firstly, it's a platform to teach performers, educate the business of being a performer. And secondly, it teaches personal development. For me, what do I get out of it? I've been able to concentrate on practicing my vlogging, my videos, my article writing, and just really, you know, hosting events and stuff like that. We're about to, over the next couple of months, once we come out of lockdown properly, we're going to actually open it up. The article Yeah, so the articles. No, originally I was thinking, oh, we'll have some massive launch, but I'm thinking just no. In a couple of months, we'll just go right. Anyone can just access the things.
Yeah.
Because it's pushed more towards a media platform, really, than any kind. You know, was like this is going to change the industry. But I've the more I feel like changing the industry, the more I realise that the industry does not want to be changed. You know, if you want, you know, the performing arts as a thing is almost, it's like a holding pen for the people who either are desperate or don't want to go up higher to the entertainment industry, or you know, or will never make it. You know, it sounds sad, but you know, so it's just you know, it's, if people are interested, they can email contact at Network Reveals Media. But over the next couple of months, as I say, all the articles, there's hundreds of articles, hundreds of videos, lots of different things that we do. We do mastermind sessions, we do different events. They'll all be coming live, and people will be able to see what it is.
Amazing. So just say that email again. So it's
contact at thenetworkreveals.com.
So contact at thenetworkreveals.com. Good. Yeah. So guys, if anyone's on the line that are interested, go and send an email. And can they find you on any social media?
Me personally?
No. Well, yours appears on here.
Yeah, the network. Don't check out my Instagram. The network members, I think it is.
Network members, so they'll find you on Instagram. I'll see if I can put that in a link on the YouTube video and also in the podcast.
It's, you know, it's one of these things that I'm not. I suppose I'm the polar opposite to you, Brendon. I'm not that big on. Not that I don't care, but I've just.
It's not been a focus point for you.
It's not a focus point for me, social media, to be honest, because I know that the moment you get on TV, you can get banged just like that.
Yeah, overnight, hundreds of thousands.
Yeah. So at some point, you know, I'm sure I'll get on it. But
yay.
But I will probably just delegate someone to do it for me, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like that sometimes. Don't worry. It's just you just feel like, why am I doing this? I'm just going to post and leave it and reply to comments, and that's probably the best way right now, because otherwise you're just watching everyone else pretending to have a good time in lockdown.
Well, this is why I don't spend that much time on social media. I find social media it's a land of untruths.
Yeah, it's quite destructive as well sometimes.
I like to read because I can find the truth out from books, and I can research, and I can go on the internet, and I can properly study.
Exactly.
A lot of the internet is it's just fake people trying to make their life better and trying to push their agenda on people.
Yeah.
And when you do just get into arguments, I made a comment the other day about I was supporting. Basically, I was just going on about the fact that I just think it's ridiculous that people are sort of standing up so much for. I made this post about it was actually about Winston Churchill and how I thought that, you know, it was our past as you know, Britain has been pretty shameful when it comes to racism and it comes to things, and you know, this thread went a bit mental. It did really, and I'm not really on social media to do that anymore. You know, I used to like a little rant. I'd rather just be friends with everyone, to be honest, and I'd rather hear people's opinion than not. But you know, but I haven't got time to be getting into huge long debates with morons, really. You know, people who don't want to who don't want to learn. You know, because if someone I disagree with says something to me that I go, wow, you know, and I learn from it, I'm going to go research, but I'm not going to call him an idiot, and I'm not going to slag him. I'm going to, you know, I used to, you know, years ago, but I've learned it's not worth it.
We missed the very beginning of what you said before you said about your article, Winston Churchill, just because the sound broke up a little bit. So just repeat what you said right at the beginning that led into this.
How basically you know, I find that social media it's just a distraction. Too many people are just getting into too many long threads. And what they don't realize is, you know, a lot of people, especially who have a certain mindset, don't want to here and they don't want to learn. You know,
No.
I, for one, just talking about Black Lives Matter, have learned so much over the last couple of months,
Me too.
which has changed my opinion on things, which has really it's been an education for me, you know. And the more I learn, the more, you know, I can't unlearn these things I've learned.
No.
You know, so I am very you know, I'm now, it's all linked, the Black Lives Matter. It's all linked to just the structure of the world and everything. And you know, we can go down a rabbit hole, but yeah, basically, is you got to be careful with it, especially as a performer, don't you?
Well, talking about things that are going on right now, you knew we were going to get onto coronavirus at some point, right? So what do you think has been the biggest impact of corona, let's say, on the commercial dance industry? So let's keep it specific.
Yeah. I would say we've just had a break, really. You know, it's given us all a nice little break.
Yeah.
You know, the whole coronavirus thing, I mean, it depends where you're at in your life.
Yeah.
For me, to be honest, it's been a fantastic time. I've been able to spend a lot of time with my young son. I've been able to read loads. I've been able to watch loads. I've been able to exercise loads. I've been able to have a break from having to get up and go to work from, you know, 9 till 6 or 7 at night. And I've been able to think about loads of different things. I think what we're seeing now is, and this might lead into, I think you had a question up about what, you know, something to do with them looking bleak or whatever.
Yeah, keep talking about it. I'll put it in. No, it's fine. You carry on talking about it. I'll weave it in later.
Right. Well, the thing is with the performing arts, this is it. It's exposed the performing arts to what it really is, and it's just full of desperate people who aren't willing to learn, and who was not there for the performing arts before all this. All of a sudden, when it affects them, suddenly everyone gives a shit about the performing arts. You know what I mean? Because it's my job out on the line. Now I want to help save the industry. But people didn't want to, you know, people didn't want to save the industry for the last 10, 15, 20 years.
Nope.
You know, they look at people who crusade to save the industry as nutcases. But now everyone's like, oh, I've got to save, I've got to help. And it's because, you know, most performers are selfish. They really are.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that actually, if you are selfish, you get nowhere in life. Because, you know, you look at all these massive companies. How do they become massive? They become massive a lot of the time by getting funding from other people, and you know, they need to be able to get other people on side. You can't do things by yourself. So, you know, and we've been taught, you know, we're programmed to sort of be selfish as performers, you know. But really, I don't know, it makes me laugh, really. And it goes to show, while people were watching Love Island and, you know, and not worrying about learning about themselves and learning about investing and learning about spirituality and learning about, you know, all the things that are going to help them for a rainy day. And I'm talking about even things like, you know, mindset. For me, you know, I don't see it as bleak. I don't see it as, you know, am I that bothered that these multi-millionaire producers of theatre companies, right, who have been conning dancers for years by paying them little fees, you know, are going bankrupt? Am I that bothered? Not really. You know, because the performers, they'll be okay. You know, if you've lost your job, just get another one. Just find another one.
Well, the funny thing was, God,
another door opens, and if when your door closes, you just go, well, that's my lot. I'm stuck in this room. I can't get out. I'm gonna cry. Then, you know, and I get it. A lot of people are, you know, I've had to, you know, we've all had to be careful with our money and stuff like that. But you can either moan, you can either cry, or you can see it as a huge opportunity. And for me, I'm seeing this as a massive opportunity, a brand new era. It is, you know.
Everyone's at a level playing right now. You've got the opportunity.
You know, the performing arts had already scraped the barrel and started digging to Australia. It was so low. And now it's just, well, look, this is what I've been saying for ages. Performing arts has hit a bottom.
Yeah.
And now something's had to happen to even show, because so many performers are just clueless and desperate. They are, earning. I mean, before, commercial dancers, actually, a lot of them, they're getting these commercials, they're getting these films, they're earning shitloads of money, right? And then, I've had people who have had 20 grand, 30 grand commercials before, and then, 3 or 4 months down the line, they get another job through us for something else. And they're on me on that day. They're meant to get, they meant to get that money. They're ringing. Has the money come in? I'm thinking, fucking hell, you could have at least done it. Called us tomorrow. You can't be that desperate. But they've spent their money,
okay,
because they don't know how to after it, and they don't know, So I think this is a great time. It really is, because performers are going to be forced to learn. Be forced to become better. They're going to be forced to be multi-talented. They're going to be forced to learn different things. It's not enough just to have great technique. I certainly didn't have great technique, and I've got further than majority of people I knew.
I can vouch for that. I'm not you have no technique.
I'm not a great businessman either. I'm entrepreneurial, and I've made a hell of a lot of mistakes. But what I have got is I've got that determination, that motivation. I've got that open-mindedness to want to learn. All the time. I want to learn. They've got to learn patience and tolerance, and because every single person, most of the country lost their work, lost their freedom. And I remember on my Facebook, I did a couple of articles about this. I remember that of all the people that were working, all my friends, different from different industries, the only industry that absolutely going to town was the performers. And it's because the performers most performers that they're living like kids, they're not thinking like adults. And the problem is it's not even their fault. They're programmed from the colleges. Everything stems from this kind of, they're told that their industry is different. Our industry is different, it's special, it's the hardest profession in the world, and all this. But it's not, and it's just the same as any other industry. So but if you don't if you're not sensible with your money, if you don't understand what your goals are, and there's so many things that performers need to do, and one of the things is to be able to sit back and go, right, okay, this is what's happening. Is it going to benefit me going on Facebook and having a massive rant and a massive moan and saying that the industry's over? The industry's far from over.
It's just about to re-begin.
It's exciting. Agency-wise, we didn't have any jobs for 3 months. We had to fly people back from all around the world from contracts. We just like everybody else had jobs coming up which we was excited about, and things got cancelled. But it is what it is, and we've got to just we've just got to make sure that you don't expose yourself. People don't need to know whether it's all going pear-shaped for me or not. It's this constant need to tell everyone what's going on, and then lying that on social media that their life's brilliant, right? And then joining en masse this chorus of the industry's over. I don't see it over at all. For musical theatre is going to be
it's going to be hard.
It's going to take longer to get back. But these massive theatre producers who earn a lot of money, they are not going to sit around and lose all their money.
No,
they will be able to. If they do, they will be able to make it back, and they will come back. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But hopefully, when people do come back, people will get paid more, and people will be more appreciative of the arts. But I've seen recently online a lot of jobs coming on, just to help people out. We've got these jobs, and they're really badly paid.
Yeah, already.
But but all these platforms allow these things on because we're trying to save the arts by allowing these jobs on. But
no,
I just think
not the way.
everyone just chill. If it takes a little bit longer, it takes a little bit longer. We've started to get castings in now.
Yeah.
We've got our first getting jobs. But we're not rushing back. We're not back at the office yet. And I'm trying to do really as little as possible, as much as possible.
Yeah.
To be honest.
No, agreed. So,
what?
If you could summarize, let's take lockdown. Let's take this whole process as like a learning curve. If you could summarize what people should be taking away from this coming back into the industry afterwards, what would it be? So maybe give us like 3 things that you should be thinking about right now that you can do to give yourself the best opportunity once the industry starts to reemerge.
I would say diversity.
Yep.
I'm not talking about Ashley Banjo. Don't all apply to join Ashley Banjo's. Although they're amazing. I would say diversity. Look at where you're going in your career.
Yeah.
Look at where you're going, because you might be forced to go to that next level sooner than you think. And this has been an amazing opportunity for me during this lockdown. I have accelerated my writing. I'm now writing a novel, and and that's one of my next steps to become a published author and a novelist. And and I've been thinking of doing that, and it's been forced on me.
Yeah.
Because I've got more time. And these people aren't. What performers have to realise is, are you gonna play for us?
No, I've finally picked up a guitar and I started learning in lockdown, so good. I know what you mean.
Good. Performers have to realise they didn't become performers. They didn't become performers to stand in the background.
Nope.
They didn't become performers to support, Rita Ora. They didn't become performers to publicise other people's products. They had a dream. They wanted to win Oscars. They wanted to win Grammys, Tonys. They wanted to be a star.
I'll make you a star.
So don't. The performing arts is this thing that basically stops you from doing that.
Keep them down.
All het up, and it feels like you just have to play this audition game, and be part of this community where work towards where your true destiny. Work towards your true destiny. Start to understand the things that are going to help you. Whether that's knowledge of investing and knowing about how to manage your money. Whether that's about learning better communication skills and better networking skills and better all life skills. These are things that are going to really help you. Most people don't even know what's good or not. When they're in an audition and the client's sitting there, they've got no idea. Absolutely no idea. That head spin is a pirouette, you could say, and they'd go, "Oh right, yeah." All they know is the feeling. They know the feeling they get when they see someone, and they go, "God, that person is going to make my brand feel good." So you don't have to concentrate too much on the technique and being the best, because there'll always be people better. Especially if you're working commercially, you just got to look pretty. You've got to be a good dancer, obviously, but you don't have to be the best dancer. There's the best dancers are the ballet dancers, and the ones who have to knock out 10 pirouettes and things like that. At the start of my career, that is what you had to, you had to do 5-6 pirouettes. Nowadays, I don't think, a lot of dancers probably don't even know what that is. But there's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's the way the industry's gone. Do you know that we had Sam Cassidy on live last week, and he said something really lovely, which will back up what we were saying. Is he says, when you're in the casting room, make me feel something, and I'll hire you. Again, you don't have to be the best singer, you don't have to be the best dancer, but give me an emotion, and I'll hire you. And I think that's really important.
That's great advice. Because if you're going to spend 3 weeks with someone going off to a foreign country, or if you're going to be flying on a plane with someone on a long journey, or if you're going to have to, you're having to go to a really important client and saying, look, this is the person for the job. And if they bugger up, then your job's on the line.
Yes.
You've got to trust, and people just want to like people. That's all. That's all it is. They're not that bothered about the technique of that. Yes, it's important, but it's more important to be nice.
Yeah, agreed. And like you said, they are. And this is again something Sam touched on last week, and we were speaking about is most casting directors want you to succeed when you're walking in the room. They want you to do good because then the casting's over and they're done and they can go home and they can see their missus or their husband and actually enjoy their day rather than trailing through person after person trying to find the right person for the job. They want you to be the right person. And I think that's where a lot of performers get scared, or maybe it's drummed into their head from college that you've got to be scared, you've got to do everything they say. No,
no, absolutely.
No, not at all. Well, listen, Instagram is going to cut us off in the next couple of minutes, so we haven't got long left. Is there anything you want to say? Is there any advice you want to give to the people watching right now? Remember, this goes onto YouTube and it goes onto a podcast afterwards, so it's going to stay there. God
help us.
God help us. Fingers crossed.
What would I like to say? I would like to say, if you are a graduate right now and you are worried, don't be worried. Yeah. Okay. I would say, listen, no one, it does not matter what you do in your first year. The most important thing that you need to do in your first year, or to avoid, should I say, is not to quit.
Yes,
that is what
agreed.
The easiest thing to do. Your career is meant to be a career. It's not about what happens in your first year, whether you get an agent or whether you get jobs or whatever like that, or whether you get a graduation show. No one gives a fuck about a graduation show, But and don't worry if you don't get a good agent, because when you first leave, you're probably not. Most of you aren't good enough to get on the top agency. You've got to get a bit more experience.
Yeah, so stepping stones.
Just as Bobby McFerrin said, don't worry, be happy.
The word. Love it. Hey Chelsea.
And to any performer, I would say, don't worry. If you're worried, then get the hell out. Get the hell out. Get the hell up.
Get up and keep going. Yeah.
Get up to where you're meant to be. Your destiny is not meant to be just behind someone. And if you're unhappy, then don't worry about it. It's not meant, we don't all have to be in the performing arts. There's so many other things that you can be doing in life. We've all found out during lockdown. It's about love being is the happy. Greatest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's our families. It's we don't need that much.
Yeah. But isn't it funny that the biggest complaint for lockdown is not being able to see other people? It's not money. It's not the luxuries, the shops, the cinemas, the theatres. It's, I want to see my family. I want to go and see my dad. I want to, that's been the biggest thing. So connection. And God, Zoom must be laughing right now. They're probably making a ton of money just so people can connect and do quizzes. And so I think, like you said, the biggest takeaway right now is just remember that people are important, being happy is important, and just figure out what that is for yourself. And I think that's a really nice piece to end on.
And, don't get ripped off by these fucking platforms. That's what I'll put in right at the end. Platforms that charge you for information about auditions.
No, don't pay for them. Don't. You should never have to pay for it. It will always go to the agent, or there'll be someone. Like if I have a casting and I'm casting it myself, I'll check on my Instagram. It's free. It is what it is.
There you go.
So, Stuart, how can people get in contact with you if they need to? How can they follow you? How can they interact with you?
Ideally, I'd rather that they wouldn't contact me. I don't want to be bothered, to be honest.
Well, if there's someone on the line that has a £1 million deal for you, then contact me.
Well, they can contact Serena at the agency, and she can deal with it.
And she'll
No,
sift through them.
You can check out highlevelindustry.com,
Yep.
which will just, there's a little form on there, which if you're interested in becoming a network member, as I say, it's going to become public very soon.
Yep.
If you're interested in being represented, then the best thing to do is come to my class when it comes back.
Yep.
You know, don't send a CV and photo, or especially if you're brand new from a graduate.
Yep.
You know, send them, but just send them knowing that we're going to send you a standard email to say come to class, because it's better to. It's not. Well, it's not.
We've got
like,
3 seconds, dude. I've got to say goodbye.